What is up, everybody? BlueDog35 here. I'm joined with a guest, or by a guest.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Oh, yay! This is Doug. He is my roommate.
Hi.
Tell us all a story, Doug.
I went to the park today. It was warm.
Congratulations. But
I
anyways,
threw a ball at a pedestrian.
Where'd you get the ball?
Doesn't matter.
All right. So we're gonna restore this friggin' clam right here.
It looks like a car.
It is. It is. It looks today, Junior. To me, the closest that this resembles is a Ford Pinto. It's got the gas tank right here and all that crap. So it's pretty screwed. We're gonna go and we're gonna move it. We're gonna put on the right lifter, and I guess we're just gonna chat and ramble. So yeah.
You don't want to put it on the wrong lifter, I'll tell you that.
Har, 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 har. That was so funny, I forgot to bark. But anyways, we are continuing our 100%, what do I want to call it? 100%,
Completionist goal?
yes, for restoring every car in the game. It's been a few days since I've recorded the video, so I figured why not? Doug had the day off, and night, whatever. Yeah, we're third shift. Gotta tell everybody that. We all know you work third shift.
It's the truth.
Well, yeah. It's a it's a thing. Come on, why can't? Oh, I gotta lift the car to get at that. But yes, it is your day, so you have the day off.
That is correct.
So then why did you have to correct me and say night? Because you want all the viewers to know that you work night shift?
No.
No?
Maybe. Doesn't matter.
It might.
The point is, I don't work, and I don't work at night times. That's all that matters.
I'm tired, shut up.
Not yet. That's 7 a.m.
Yeah, true. What's going on in the world of Doug right now? Sorry to put you on the spot, but...
I'm hot. I just woke up, basically.
Okay. You just woke up.
Alright, a few hours
3 o'clock
ago.
in the morning. How did you just wake up?
I woke up like 4 hours ago.
So that's not just woke up. What are you, my mom? She used to say, like, I would go out and make food, right? And... of course, she worked, so it was all a blur. I'd go out, make food, and then, like, 5 to 7 hours later, I would go out and make more food. She's like, you just ate! I'm like, yeah. Okay. Sure. So, are you my mom?
I am not your mom. That would make this awkward.
Yeah, it would.
For multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Mainly because I didn't birth you.
And... I'd be talking to a pile of ashes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't want to be a pile of ashes. Not yet, at least. I want another
that comes later in life.
I want another good 4 minutes here, and then...
Another good 4 minutes. We're gonna be here for a little longer than 4 minutes, buddy.
Yeah, but all I care about is the next 4 minutes, and then we can go from there.
Why is that? Is that a Rush reference?
That is not a rush.
It's not.
Not everything I do is a rush.
Okay.
I was gonna wait till next episode to start laying on my Rushisms.
Your Rushisms.
They're Rushisms.
Who said
or
I was
Russians for short.
Who said that I was gonna let you stick around for 2 episodes?
I live here.
What do you mean you live here? I do too.
I'm in the same room as you most of the day. It comes with living in the same apartment.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we're about, I don't know, I'd say a third of the way done here. We need to lift the car and then get it all the crap underneath. But first...
You need that guy from that commercial to lift the car for you.
Yeah, I lift things up and put them down. We're gonna rip the motor out of this pig.
I'm sure
So.
I'm sure there's a mod for that somewhere.
Accessible from engine bay. Is that not what I am in? Accessible from engine bay. Alright, that's weird, but whatever. And we're walking. Let's get the radiator out of the way. We gotta take the fan off. There we go. I really wish working on vehicles was this easy, because then I'd be, like, you know, done with my car. Right click on the...
Oil change.
Yeah, there you
10
go.
seconds later, done.
Yeah, totally. But, on the subject of cars, I know you are not the, you know, the biggest gearhead in the world, but you have recently become, you know, kind of interested in vehicles and modifying vehicles and all that stuff. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your personal vehicle, if you would like?
It is a 2002 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo.
Okay.
I've had it since I was 12. No, I wasn't driving it when I was 12. My mom got it with the specific intention of giving it to me when I was 16. We had two vehicles. We had the Lumina.
Oh yeah, you had your mom had a Lumina van.
Yeah, although that died when I was like 13, and then she got the Venture.
Uh-huh.
It came with its own Monarch too. And then yeah, I know.
Just a word of advice. My audience isn't exactly the smartest, so.
I think they heard you.
I love you.
But
No, they probably got it.
But yeah, funny story, because my mom got the 2002 when I was 12, and she only got it for like $2,000. And it's like, how do you get a brand new vehicle for $2,000? Well, you get it for $2,000 when you get it from a mechanic who bought it for his wife, who then committed suicide.
Yay! Hooray! For one instance where suicide pays.
I guess. I mean, I feel sorry for him, but he wanted to get rid of it. So my mom's like, there's no other way I'm getting my kid, a vehicle for that cheap. So I got the suicide Jeep.
The suicide Jeep.
The good news is she didn't kill herself in the Jeep, but I will say this: the Jeep had many mechanical issues for the first few years, and I'm not saying I'm superstitious, but I feel there may have been some negative energy left behind.
It is quite possible. Oh, I need to take the control arms off.
But yeah, so that's how I got it. When I took my driver's test and everything, it just became mine. So it's been in my life for 10, 11, oh god,
this
13
many
years.
This many.
Yeah, I'm that point where old people are like, you're not old, and you're like, yeah, I'm kind of getting there. You know, halfway to half a century. Yeah, getting there. I'm almost old.
When I turned 25, I was like,
Yeah, it's not a fun feeling realizing that, there's a good portion of the world that, wasn't alive when, now, and it's like...
No, I get what you're saying.
It's like, I have friends who already have kids who are like 3 or 4 years old, and I'm like, no!
No! How did this happen?
It's like, I like kids, don't get me wrong, but the thought of having a kid now just seems weird, but then it's like, I reach 30 and I don't have a kid, and it's gonna be like, ah.
Well, one thing that made me feel like, really old, and I don't mean like, old, I mean like, just like, holy shit, I'm, not young anymore, was, Rex from Xbox.
Yeah.
When he told me that he was born in 1999, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's like, what was I doing in 1999? Yeah, I was this age, I had this friends, I was playing paintball.
1999, there are kids on Xbox that you have absolutely no idea they're so young. Because I had no idea that he was so young until he told when he. I sound like a friggin'. She told me she was 20. But no, I had absolutely no idea how young he was until he had told me that he was born in '99. I was like, oh my god.
I can list a ton of things. I mean, just in 2001 alone, and 2012, all the things that happened, and he was only 3, and I was in Disney World going, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was in like 5th or 6th grade.
Well, yeah, me too. I mean, I remember, September 11th and everything that happened in 2001, and he was only 2, and it's like, he's going to be asking, his parents about it, but he won't know anything about it himself, but we remember it specifically.
Right.
I mean, I think you can see it in the memes and everything that goes on. It's like, kids nowadays, they don't know the things we do. And I know you're not the hugest Zelda fan, but it's like, I ran into a kid whose oldest memory of a Zelda game is Twilight Princess.
And that's what, like a fairly
that was
early game.
It's like that was not recent, but it was the first one on the Wii. I mean, and that's I think it was less than 10 years ago. God, I hope it was less than 10 years ago. But it's like I remember buying or getting. I as a kid I didn't buy it, but
right.
I remember.
Yeah, you were working long hours at the sweatshop after school, right?
Yeah. Milking cows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is Pennsylvania anyway.
Yeah, that's what we do. But I remember, getting Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time the day it came out, and I think that was, I don't want to get butchered, but I want to say it was in 97. I'm pretty sure it was 97.
Okay.
And I remember, playing that, struggling with it, not having internet, not even knowing what internet was. I remember fucking dial-up and thinking, this is fantastic. and that noise was the sound of joy.
Just so you're aware, Ocarina of Time was November 21st, 1998.
All right, I was
at least initial release. Okay, so it may have been. It was probably released in Japan in 1998. By the way, I'm looking something up. I'm sorry that the action has stopped. Yeah. In the U.S., it was released November 23rd, 1998.
All right, so I was a little off, but I remember that. I remember Majora's Mask. I own Majora's. I own all of these. I remember Wind Waker and the controversy of it being so different.
Right.
And it wasn't controversy, but it was just like, how dare they change what Zelda was? But then it's like, look at what Zelda was before.
Right.
The fact that it even survived, what was it, Zelda 2 and the Philips CD.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, how did it survive that?
Oh, my God, yeah.
So, I mean, and it's like, it's not like now where you can look up the sales and everything, but the fact that we even still have a Zelda is kind of amazing when you look at Zelda 2 and the Philips CD thing.
Yeah.
Although, then again, the whole Philips CD thing was a different company. And it's like they just had the rights to it.
Right.
So it's not like Nintendo and everybody else who made Ocarina of Time lost the money that they did.
Right.
But
well, what they did was they licensed their OCs to, whatever. But no, it's friggin'. If you want a good laugh, look up. I accidentally Hotel Mario on YouTube. It's fucking hilarious.
But yeah, when you're old enough to where your childhood things people don't even remember, or even know about, it kind of hits you right in the heart because it's
right in the feels.
Right in the feels, because it's like, Oh man, I love my Super Nintendo. I mean, there are kids who.
What's a Super Nintendo? Look, well, just look at the Kids React series with the friggin' they gave them an original Game Boy,
Yeah.
and they're like, what the fuck is this?
Although some of them knew what it was, but the thing is, it's like I could understand not knowing NES or Atari,
Right.
or even Super Nintendo. But it's like if you're 10 or above, you should at least know what a 64 is.
Right.
And have some knowledge to it. I mean, honestly, if I look at all the systems, with the exception of certain games, like if you had to say a system that was perfect from that like 95 to 2000 period,
Sega Dreamcast.
negative.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
Yeah, I know. It's just Nintendo 64 really hit the mark.
Well, yeah. I mean, they had more, more good stuff. More, more. God, what's the word I'm looking for? They had like the absolute. I mean, I know. PlayStation was, kind of
No.
good, but
Well, no, the PlayStation was great, and what I was saying was system-wise, overall, I think the PlayStation had some games that were better than a lot of the games put out for the 64. But if you look at what it did to the industry, and overall the amount of good games versus... I mean, alright, PlayStation had some legendary games, and series, from Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy, both 7, 8, and 9. Fuck the haters. I like 8. I think 7's good too. I like 9, but I really liked 8. And it's like, if you want to get past that whole using Guardian Forces only thing, actually try to play the game with some variety. And oh no, you're having fun.
See, I have no idea what you're talking about because I only played Gran Turismo.
And that's fine. But no, I mean, I think some of the games and things were more iconic on the PlayStation, but I think overall the 64 just did more for the industry. I mean, that was a time where, things didn't go cross-platform.
Right.
It just didn't happen, but the Nintendo 64 was so accessible, they were going cross-platform with it.
Right.
Both Resident Evil 2 and Nemesis were ported to the 64 because they were so popular.
Well, see, what I don't get is how they got all those games to fit on, like, the cartridges, because the cartridges only held, like, I think it was the highest amount of data that they could hold was, like, 100 megabytes.
Well, I know...
Or 128 megabytes.
I know with... When I got Majora's Mask, and I think this is how a lot of people got it.
Right.
Because Majora's Mask was kind of pioneered this, I guess. It came with a memory expansion unit.
Right.
And it was the only way you could play Majora's Mask. And there were other games that needed that unit, but you'd have to buy it separately.
Right.
But Majora's Mask, a lot of the first ones, like if you have the gold cartridge like I do, then it came with that. And a lot of people got that gold cartridge. I mean, it's still rare now.
Right.
But a lot of people got it back then because, Zelda blew up after Ocarina of Time.
Right.
So a lot of people got that expansion unit afterwards, and that's when the larger megabyte stuff started coming out. That's when you saw Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and other things that were on the PlayStation go to the 64.
Right. No, I get what you're saying about the memory expansion. But see, what I don't get is because, like, the memory expansion, how's it going to know what's on the game? Like, it's not going to be able to, unless it's, like, compressed zip files. I don't think that it's going to be able to...
Well, what I think it was it was like... Let's say you have something that's compressed in a can.
Right.
Alright, and... Alright, maybe it was compressed zip files, but from the way I would think it would work, is if it's all on the cartridge.
It's all on the D, baby.
I would imagine that it was just like extra room for it to spread its memory out.
Okay.
And
I kind of understand that, yeah.
It's like you compress something, and that's an extra compartment to let it flow into.
Okay.
And then...
That's not exactly how memory on a computer works, but okay.
I know, but it's an analogy.
Okay. Can't spell analogy without anal. And the sigh. Oi, this guy. I'm kidding. I wanted to make it awkward. I don't know why I do that.
It's okay.
But anyway.
But yeah, so we're old, I think, is the moral of this insane family.
Kind of went off on something there.
I mean, old people are also old, but I think it's official to say when you reach 25, you're going downhill, and you know it.
Well, you start to feel, kind of old. I've been feeling old ever since I was told that I need double knee replacement when I was like 15. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go ahead.
And, well, I was going to say, it's not even because, I'm a huge fat ass. It's because I have shit knees.
Yeah. And I've been told I was deaf since I was, coming out of the vagina.
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Yep. Whatever you say.
So you said you're deaf?
Yep.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Huh?
You're supposed to say, or you're supposed to go, I said deaf, not blind, dumbass. Camshaft, I need this guy right here. I know I'm going a little bit different from the format of what I usually do, but I figured since Doug's here, we'll just do the whole thing, and I'll kind of give you an inside look at what I do. I remember asking you what you have for a vehicle, and because I have recently moved in with you, you have taken an interest in modifying your vehicle. Not as heavily as I have, and, my own cars, or my own car, I don't have plural cars yet. Well, technically I do. I own a 1992 Ford Probe that I'm not sure if it exists anymore. But that's in New Hampshire, and I'm in Pennsylvania. What plans, or what would you like to do to your Jeep, Mr. Doug?
I would like to, well, aside from the few things I need to fix right now, I need new tires.
Well, yeah, but aside from the normal
like
wear and tear, yeah, the normal upkeep, preventative maintenance stuff, what do you what do you want to do to make it better, to make it nicer? And
I wouldn't mind, for fuel economy, adding in a cold air intake.
Okay.
I know that's a big project, but this, I'm dreaming, so...
Well, it isn't really. It's kind of a bolt-on thing. It's not a huge project.
Something I'd like to do that's kind of cosmetic, is I'd like to get one of those washable air filters, so I can...
Well, if you have a cold air intake, you can't have one of those.
Really?
Really, the cold air intake will actually get rid of that.
Oh, alright, then I won't need one of those and spend $50 on it. I'd rather get the cold air intake.
Alright.
Because I know that will improve.
It will to an extent. It won't totally, but it will to an extent.
No, it's just, I mean, I
It's
I
kind of
already
a
get better
placebo
gas
thing.
mileage than a lot of people in my Jeep for some reason. I get 15 to 18 miles to the gallon, depending on everything, and I know a lot of people can only get like 12 out of it. But,
Right.
I do pretty good with it. I
do good.
I would like to give myself some cherry bombs or do something to the exhaust where when I press the gas, I can hear it go. Meow! It's like just the like.
I don't think it's gonna make that sound, but yeah.
You get the point.
It'll have a rumble to it, yeah.
Yeah, I want a low rumble.
You want it to sound halfway
Hungry.
decent instead of, yeah, I get what you're saying. And the 4-liter can sound, you know, pretty bitchin'.
Yeah,
so.
and the thing is, I want that.
Well, I think you wanted that after you heard my car.
Yeah, pretty much. Other than that, there's not too much I want to do with it. The rims need replacing.
Mm-hmm.
I like the bolts you put on yours, so I might look for some cosmetic bolts.
Okay.
For the rims and everything. I'll probably start painting my calipers like you.
Mm-hmm. That adds 25 horsepower, you know.
What, painting the calipers?
That's a Mighty Car Mods joke, but yeah. 25 kilowatts, which is equal to about, I think, 25 kilowatts is like, really, no.
That, and I need to add stickers.
Yes, stickers. I'm doing 25 kilowatts to horsepower. 25 kilowatts, 33.5 horsepower. So, yeah, each painted brake caliper adds 33 horsepower. Not really, but it would be nice if that worked, because then, you know, I would have 66 horsepower, and then you would have 132. I don't know, because you have 4 calipers. I only have 2 because I have drums in the back on my Subaru.
Well, for me, other than that, pretty much just right now, I just want to do the cold air intake.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do the exhaust.
Well, I mean, and those are, you know, things that are totally doable.
And they're not super expensive, and it doesn't require a shit ton of taking apart the vehicle either.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, you could get, you can find an exhaust, just have, you know, find a flange that fits the header that you have, the exhaust pipe, and, I mean, you could, I need to buy a drive shaft, too. Excuse me. You could build yourself a half decent exhaust for, you know, a couple $100.
Yeah. And you know, that's one more thing I like about having a Jeep is it is, in my opinion, with the exception of, you know, some of the motor stuff, I think pretty easy to work on underneath, at least, just with the convenience that it's a little higher. And it's like you have just a little bit more room when you get underneath the car.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, without you with your Subaru, you have to really jack that thing up. With mine, you just kind of have to move it up a little. It's not even like a large amount. You just need just a little.
Remember when I was pulling the motor out of my car? Remember how high up it was?
Oh, yeah.
And you've seen the pictures of it when I was doing the transmission.
Yeah.
That
takes work.
Yeah.
That takes time. It takes special equipment, too.
Right.
Mine, you could probably just use the bottle jack that came with the vehicle, and then bam.
I hate bottle jacks, but yeah. I hate scissor jacks, too. But, Rim Basic 02, this guy. Good. We are good. But no, I completely, I get you, because I would rather, I think we're missing something over here. What are we missing? Ah, torque arm over there. But, with your Jeep, you can kind of, like, almost do the oil with, excuse me, almost do the oil without, you know, having to use a jack or anything. I mean, you really can, but, you know, me being fat ass, I can't even fit under a Jeep, so I I need to jack it up a little bit. Excuse me, a little bit.
The only thing that I saw when doing my oil the last time that I wasn't a huge fan of, like, I get why it's useful and why it has to be in the position that it was, but I really don't like the position of the oil filter.
Yeah. I had to use a friggin' screwdriver.
Well, no, that's a technical problem. Like, I just don't like where it's located on the engine.
Yeah.
I personally think when it's on the side, and, you know, I know it's gonna burn off and other things, but I don't like the fact that it's gonna drip oil on your engine and out of that port, where it's like if it was on the bottom, like on your car.
Yeah.
It just drips onto the ground.
No, I don't like that either. I completely get you.
It's like, to me, that's a frustration. It's like, because no matter what you do, no matter how long you let that oil drain, when you take that oil filter off afterwards, you're going to have oil dripping.
Right.
And it's going to be on your engine, and it's going to burn. And it's just not something I enjoy.
I completely understand.
And I feel like if it was just next to the oil pan or something like that, it'd be, you know, a lot better.
Yeah, similar to mine.
Yeah. I also didn't like the fact that, you know, how tight it was on the last time. You know, you mentioned the screwdriver thing.
Yeah, it was kind of He-Man on there. And it even had the type of filter that has the little grip things on the bottom that you can... You can grab onto it.
But it was, you know, it was smooth metal.
Yeah. I mean, but it still had texture to it. It was kind of...
At least the one that we have in there now, the Purelator.
Yeah.
It's like, that thing you can grip.
No, the oil filter that he had on there, we couldn't get it off just, you know, with strength alone, and I didn't have an oil filter wrench, so what I had to do was I had to take a screwdriver and actually hammer it through the oil filter and use it use it as leverage to turn the oil filter off. It was an absolute pain in the ass. But anyways, we have finished the restoration of this, whatever the hell this thing's called. It's a Salem Flamo. Everything is 100%. The Ford Pinto, it's just got a little 4-banger up front. And, so yeah, everything is 100%. It's worth $33,000, so we're going to go ahead and sell it. Bye-bye! So, did you have fun, Doug?
Yes, I did.
You did? Are you sure you had fun? I
wasn't quite sure what I was watching, but I did have fun talking.
Well, that's good. So maybe I might invite you back for another episode.
Even if you don't, I will comment.
Thank you very much for joining me, and if you would like, I would be honored to have you in my next episode, or, you know, whenever in the future. You can guest star anytime. I sounded like George Takei. You can guest star anytime.
Oh my.
Oh my. But anyways,
I want him to become the, like, spokesperson for some candy bar, like the Oh My candy bar. Get your finger
Are
off
you hungry?
my
Grab
finger.
a Snickers.
Or just... Are you touching my Butterfinger? No, no, no. Oh, that's my... Set phasers to stun.
Snap it to a Slim Jim. I know that's not a candy bar, but...
I'll snap into Jim.
More like Brad. But anyways, thank you very much for joining me, Mr. Doug.
You are most welcome.
And thank you. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Very much. As I have
Look, they're naked.
Huh?
Don't look, they're naked.
Who? The guinea pigs?
No,
they have
your
fur.
Viewers. You said you were looking at them. Stop.
Oh. I'm sorry I gazed upon your nudity. Your nudery. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'm sure Doug does, right? Right? As I hold a gun to your head?
Peanut butter.
You appreciate it, right?
Peanut butter.
Okay. Doug Peanut Butter. So, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, rate, comment, subscribe, send us death threats. Thank you very much. Good night!